Hello, and we are live from Daytona International Speedway for the Daytona 250, presented by Butt Kicker. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Great Lakes Cup Series here on Split Second Broadcasting. I'm Kyle Laurence Short, joined in the booth by my driver analyst, Gavin Fitzgerald, and Alex Colin Nix, who is running it from pit road. How are y'all doing it today?
Feeling good, getting ready to rock and roll here at Daytona. Looking forward to some interesting racing.
Oh god, I'm exhausted running around here. Oh Jesus, why are there so many drivers?
Well, here on the first row, we have the number 22 of Drew Cox on the inside. And on the outside, we have Peter Accumano.
Followed in the second row here by Daniel Nanny and Jacob Manning.
In the third row, we got Merrick Watchhorn and Eric Kep.
And here they come, getting ready for the green flag here in Daytona.
You seem to have a car coming
into the... Whoa, what's going on there?
You have a huge issue on the start, apparently.
Yeah, big issue on the start. Phil Bedford comes up to second place.
Boys, I would like to update you a bit on that one. Going on to the first pace lap, Phil Bedford had pulled off to the side. He was our second place qualifier heading into the race start, but was late to the start. So I assume he was trying to get back to his position.
Interesting. Thanks for the information, Alex. And as we're going, Drew Cox is leading the field. Daniel Nanny's right behind him, and Jacob Manning is currently in third. This is a 100-lap race here.
You know, as everyone seems to get pretty single file here after that little hectic start. But you know what they say, better late than never, right? Phil has seemed to found his way onto the tail end of this lead pack here. Fell back to the 8th position.
Definitely a lot less drama than you saw a couple days ago in that Great Lakes Truck Series preliminary race. Everyone seems to be chilled out, just going to take their time, it looks like. We're going to have probably... How many pit stops do you think we're going to have tonight, Alex?
We're talking to a couple of these drivers here. We're looking at around a fuel window of anywhere from 22 to 27 laps. So we're looking at about 3 to 4 pit stops.
We can make it real interesting on strategy if we can keep it green out here. Everyone's taking it real easy early here. Lining up, Jacob Manning gonna fall back a little bit.
Yeah, with those pit stops, guys, you got to remember, you got to watch out for the team strategy here. Who comes down when? We've got a good chunk of Fords and Toyotas here are going to be the main factors. Those Spectrum Racing cars and the 2511 cars. Look for them to peel off together. Those are the two most coordinated teams, I'd argue.
Drew Cox has so far led every lap, coming to the end of lap 3. Everyone's just chilling behind him. Daniel Nanny and Eric Kep right behind him. Nathan Nicholson in 4th.
That's all you need to do right now. Everyone's just got to, you know, chill out, relax. There's no point going anywhere. Like I said, we're on lap, I think, 4. Yeah, lap 4 out of 100. That is obviously a very long way to go, especially with these long laps around Daytona. Everyone's going to try and get in line and ride. You know, the earliest I'd ever think about making a move, even to get linked up with your teammates here, is lap 50 is, I think, when you got to start to go, really. But other than that, there's no reason to move out right now. Everyone's just got to hang out.
A little bit of racing back for 7th right now. Jacob Manning on back, getting a little interesting there. A little too wide action back there.
Yes, but he will fall back up there with TCB. Shocking to see from Tyrell Baker. Obviously one of the more aggressive guys in the league. Has a couple Great Lakes Truck Series wins under his belt.
I'm just still learning about the series, but this I already know is going to be an exciting year. I've heard a lot about Great Lakes. And this is going to be a great year, and no better place to start the season than here at Daytona.
Yes, sir, Daytona is a classic racetrack, and I've noticed here that we do have, as we have 2 packs forming here. Just looking off the edge here, we got, I believe that is really 1st through 20th is one pack, and then the second pack, headed by, seems to be Matt Daniels and Austin Moore there, is basically from, I believe that's 20th on back to 34, as 2 packs form. As looking here, we also seem to have some on the 24 of Ashton Lawson. Wonder what that's from. Probably a couple issues on the start, but
yeah, you get that accordion effect on some of these restarts, especially here at Daytona. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, especially with these new unpredictable cars. Kyle, remember, these are the next gen cars. This is one of the 2 races that the Great Lakes Cup Series will use the next gen car for. Obviously, this race and the race at COTA, I believe, I believe it's 4 weeks. The round at COTA will be running the next gen cars, as well as these ones. This is the only time the next gen cars are used. But you know, these next gen cars, I personally enjoy them. I know that they're a pretty controversial car, all things considered, but
they're just coming out to iRacing. There's still work to be done, I think, on these cars. But I do enjoy the next gen cars as well, a lot more than the current Cup cars, if you'd ask me.
As we see it, looking up here, Ty Aiken, I believe that's Ty Aiken, Jacob Manning, and TCB, Tyrell Baker have began to form a second lane there. As I say that, Ty jumps back down into line, and as I say that, he jumps to the outside. So I just can't win. Ty's going to do the opposite of what I say.
Couple of guys getting up there. Got 4 cars up there. Looked like Scott Stewart was thinking about jumping up there and changed his mind.
Everyone changed their mind, and on to the back they will go. We'll all fall back. The 71, the 1, and the 025, excuse me.
The number 22 Toyota of Drew Cox still out front. He's led all 8 laps so far here today. Daniel Nanny still right on his bumper. I don't see a single battle on this racetrack right now. I'm looking all over this racetrack. Single file everywhere. Everyone is taking their time. I've said it a couple of times now, but that's what's going on.
Yeah, you know, with all these beautiful race cars around, let's just throw it over to a crank it up segment. As they're coming back here from the crank it up section, we seem to have a wreck on the backstretch. No yellow, however. That is the 71 of Ty Aiken is around. I'm not quite sure who that other car is.
Let's see if we can get you a replay on what just happened there. Everyone's still going green as people are on the radio clamoring for a caution. Here we go. Look at the replay here.
As it looks like here that someone jumps to the outside.
Little technical difficulties there. Here we go. Here it is.
It seems TCB absolutely pit maneuvers the 71 of Ty Aiken into one of those Defiance Racing cars. I believe that is the 50 of Frederick Cremines here. No yellow, as all the cars quickly got scattered off the track, and no real major disruptions right under Ty there. Absolutely nothing. Just got turned. That's really all you can do.
Ty Aiken has retired from the race. I would like to note his day has ended.
Yes, he has packed it up. Let's see if I can find Ty in the Discord here to pull him up for an interview, as he seems to have also lapped. So, Ty Aiken out of this race, unfortunately. Winner of the initial Great Lakes Racing race here at Daytona in the Truck Series almost 1 year ago on June 2nd. Does not have the same fortunes as today.
Very disappointing to see the DoorDash vehicle go out that early in the race. But still, we have a lot of cars out here. 33 cars still on track. 33 cars going for the win here at Daytona. All lined up front still. All lined up throughout the field.
As Drew Cox continues to lead the charge. So we seem to have a battle in the second pack here.
No one seems to be working together back here. We got Matt Daniels back here, Jacob Hayes, Austin Moore, Brendan Dennis, amongst others.
There's a little bit of love lost here.
RJ Williams currently heading the pack.
Who's that looking? That I believe that was Matt Daniels seemed to peek below the yellow there. Nothing came of it.
We were just trying to get some clean air to the nose there. Taking it easy back here, just trying to push. Front pack is broken up a little bit. Still staying within a good distance of each other. Got a slight battle between the 11 and the 42, switching positions there mid-pack.
Good teammates too. That 42, Nick Martin, Chris Heller.
They're aligned back.
Yep, just as it seems here, those 2511 cars of Nick Martin, Christopher Heller, and Brandon Barkuski all in line together, going from 7th to, I believe that is 10th. Sorry, pardon me, 7th to 9th place is all 2511 cars. So look for them to make it move to the high side at some point.
Oh, and Drew Cox is going to move up. This is the first time he's going to give up the lead all day. And we got a new leader. Daniel Nanny in the number 45 is your new race leader here in Daytona.
Daniel Nanny, obviously the defending Great Lakes Cup Series champion, inherits the lead here. I just gotta wonder what the strategy move is there from Drew. He loses the lead. I believe it's mostly a fuel gamble there. Obviously, being out front there in the draft, you burn a lot more fuel than any of those cars behind you. And he wants to be on the same pit window as some guys. It's early in the race. You can make those spots back. It's time to go to the back. See here, just looking at it again. He just moves up. No fight, really. He knows what he needs to do. Smart move by him.
You were mentioning those 2511 Toyotas. All three of them up here near the front. 47, Nathan Nicholson peeked a couple times to that outside. Wondering if someone's going to go with them to jump up there, maybe try to take the lead right before the pit stops.
Yeah, like you said, pit stops. We are approaching that 22 lap window. Obviously, lap 18, fully green here. So I gotta wonder, 22.
Are you hearing anything down there, Alec? I expect these guys to come and pick over these extra laps.
Heard a discussion from the three of Charles Wembley that he wants to try and organize the drivers in his pack to pit on lap 28, which we believe to be one lap after the pit window closes. So I think he believes he can save one minute being in his position to pit a bit later.
Possibly a gutsy call right there. Thanks for the update, Alec. Still out front is Daniel Nanny, all lined up up front, no battles. Everyone is just chilling. I meant to say all 2511 cars, by the way. Those Toyotas are quick today.
Yes, sir, they are, and they're organized. That's the most important thing. You can be fast all you want, but especially right here, you gotta be organized. Especially right now as they approach the lap car, the 24 of Ashton Lawson, who was collected in an early race issue on pit road. He seems to have came down and repaired his damage and is now just trying to log some laps, hope for a lucky dog, hope for a caution, as I believe he's going 3 laps now.
Very disappointing. 3 laps done this early in this race.
Gavin clears the lap car. Ashton, great job moving out of the way.
A lot of discussion going on over here. Approaching pit stops. Just taking a quick listen.
The 95 of Brandon Dennis complaining about those speed issues and not being able to hold on to the pack. He is currently running in the 26th position in the back half of that pack. He is currently latched onto Charles Wembley. Yeah, another thing about that pit window, you know, we discussed about Charles Wembley saying he could stretch it to lap 28, but I think we might have forgotten to mention these cars have 5 gears, obviously a departure from the current generation of cars with only 4 gears. You know, what's that 5th gear? Who's running in 5th gear? Who's running in 4th? Obviously 4th you're going to go a little faster, but you're going to burn up a lot more fuel. 5th you're going to save fuel, but not go as fast. I'd imagine most of these guys are running around in 5th, but you know, maybe those guys farther in the back are running in 4th. You never know, it just depends on a, you know, driver-to-driver strategy, and it all depends. Another thing too with these cars is the sequential gearbox. It is a lot easier to shift through the gears now. Obviously, not H patterns anymore.
A lot of changes to these cars. They don't even seem like I don't remember with any NASCAR being anything close to the way this NASCAR stock car drives. 5 gears is just insane. When I heard of that, I was wow.
Sir, I personally enjoy the change. It adds a good chunk of strategy to the, you know, to the race. But you know, everyone has differing opinions on it as we continue to wait for the flag pit stops here.
The pit window has opened up on lap 24. I'd also like to point out that the second pack is around a full backstretch back. I guess they're hoping for a caution at this point in the race.
Coming to the 6th car here is Spencer Dickinson. Spencer Dickinson on pit road along with Seth Harrelson and Cole Bradley. Heard on the radio that green flag stops have begun. Is that here come all, I believe this will be all the Spectrum Racing cars in this time. I believe all the Spectrum Racing cars in this time. Here they come. Jacob Hayes, Matt Daniels, Jacob Bransky, RJ Williams, and Josh Cottle all hit pit road this time round.
Brandon Dennis looked a little fast into pit road. Not sure if that's going to be a speeding penalty. Oh, and he crashes into the pit wall.
Jacob Bransky,
That's his day.
too fast entering. Hectic pit road. Brandon Dennis.
Brandon Dennis's day is over. He has retired from the race after possibly speeding on pit road and hitting the pit wall. Very disappointing. And we have more leaders coming on pit road. We have leader of the most laps so far, Drew Cox on pit road with Eric Kep.
Oh, Eric overshot pit road. I believe RJ Williams also received a speeding penalty. That was not a good pit call, or not pit call, pardon me, a strategy call from those Spectrum Racing cars. There's a lot of people acquired speeding penalties on that, as everyone also missed their box. This has been a disastrous pit cycle for the Spectrum Racing cars. Oh my goodness.
Cannot have these struggles on pit road. Good thing it's still early. They can come back from this. Long race. We still haven't had the big one. Haven't had anything, actually.
Yeah,
A lot to do.
So that lead pack rounds out to take lap 27. They've got to all be very close to the pit wall. They're running these cars empty.
They're still trying that lap 28 strategy from what I heard on the radio a few laps ago. So this should be interesting. I'm not sure what they're quite getting out of going the extra lap there. Would you know why they're trying to push for the extra lap so hard, Alex?
Well, what I can imagine from what some of these drivers were theorizing is that you hit later, and so you're on the tail end of some of these drivers that hit earlier, giving you the draft and the fuel advantage, which can also help you speed-wise, as now you're locked up with the pack all on slightly better tires than everybody in front of you, which can help you pull a gap once you get around.
Nathan Nicholson will cycle out to the lead on pit stop as it rounds out. Quick note on that pit stop: Austin Moore missed pit road, flipped through the grass. As I believe the 45 of Daniel Nanny, Jacob Manning, Zachary Henry, Kyle Hall, Frederick Kameen, Austin Moore, and that rounds out everyone on pit road right now. Obviously, we got Daniel Nanny, Aaron Duclos, and Frederick Kameen's those Defiance cars. Those Defiance Ford Mustangs working together here.
And cars are still on track. And Nathan Nicholson still stays on the track. We only get 2 takers on pit road. And Josh Cully looked like he went to the grass in the 33. And Elliot Henderson in the 37, not far behind him. The lead pack stays out still. Surprised they've went this far on the tank. All the way to lap 29.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I know he's not in a Toyota, so pardon me if we never figured this out earlier, but Philip Bedford is also included in that 2511 team, as they will hit pit road this time. 2511 cars in this time.
Here comes these front guys. They're talking on pit road, and they're all coming down. Here they come. And that 47 and Nathan Nicholson going to be real fast, and he's definitely speeding. He's in the grass.
Nathan Nicholson, and if Chris Heller doesn't get a speeding penalty, then I'll be damned.
So far, pit road has just been insane on these green flag pit stops. A lot of mistakes. Whoever doesn't have a pit road penalty might end up with the victory here today.
Yes. As
Drew
just
Cox.
a quick note here, guys. Tyrell Baker and Jacob Manning have both retired from this race due to what I can only presume are mechanical issues. As Phil did not seem to get any penalty. Phil did not seem to get a penalty.
Jacob Manning up so early. He was up in the front of the pack early in the race. Definitely very disappointing to see him out early. I thought he could be a good big contender for the win here today. This cycle looks like it's coming through. It looks like Drew Cox might end up being our race leader. Cox, who's led a lot of the laps here today. RJ Williams looks like he just got in front of him. But Drew Cox has led the most laps through.
Approaching the slower cars here.
Whoa!
Drew Cox! Oh
Drew
no!
Cox's nose is gone. Dominant car of the day lost his nose to look like to be Phil Bedford in the number 20 Valvoline vehicle.
Do you want to know, that puts the 63 of Eric Kep into the lead here.
I'll try to pull up a replay for you on that incident that took out the dominant car of the day. Here we are. Looks like not a very good view right there.
Yeah, a bit rough from that angle. It just looks like, I think maybe if Phil Bedford was on the lead lap, it looks to me maybe Phil ran out of gas and, you know, he went low to get out of the way and Drew went low to pass him and it was just a bit of a miscommunication.
Phil Bedford had a huge lead. I'm not sure if maybe he took 2 tires or maybe he didn't take a full tank of gas. He had a huge lead, and that's why he was so far up in front. They had a lot of speed from the draft. He was all by himself. And just miscommunication right there, it looks like. Miscommunication at its finest.
Yeah, stuff like that will happen.
Yes, I would like to report that Phil Bedford did indeed take 2 tires on his last pit stop.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I was wondering how he was in the lead in the first place. I was just thinking maybe he had to pit yet. Definitely some interesting strategy here early in the race.
Just a bad deal there, but stuff like that will happen in this race. This is racing. Stuff like this just happens. There's nothing you can really do about it, but someone who's probably very happy about that is the 63 of Eric Kep up there in the lead. You know, if he's got Merritt, he's got his, you know, teammate Merritt behind him.
I'd also like to point out in third place. We have Kyle Hall. I heard you talking about him earlier, and I haven't seen him the whole day, and all of a sudden he's right there in third.
Now, Kyle Hall, a fun little story actually. Kyle Hall used to be my teammate in the first season of Great Lakes Truck Series. But yeah, he took a bit of a break from Great Lakes, and it's great to see him back out here contending right away.
It looks like Phil Bedford maybe sustained a good amount of damage from that incident. I'm not sure if he came on pit road or not. Do you have any information for us, Alex?
Well, I had just gotten out of talking with Phil just a second ago, and he had reported that iRacing had glitched out and had unchecked his fuel, so he came out of pit road with no fuel in the car.
Very.
So what I thought about the fuel issue, huh? Because you know iRacing tends to have those little hiccups, just like any game. Though we still love it, we all know it. But
Talking to you, Junior.
yeah, but just
Eric
a
Kep
quick
remains in the lead right now. Continue, Gavin.
Continue to push an RJ here. Just a quick update on the lucky dog. Jacob Bransky will be your lucky dog. If the caution will come out right this second. Obviously, he is 4th in line in that inside line, right behind Merrick Watchorn. Is the lead pack. They're closing in on that 25-11 pack, or well, not full 25-11 pack, but decent chunk of them. As Drew Cox has entered pit road to try and fix some of his damage.
A lot of these cars were in the front a couple laps ago, but because of the pit road problem, they're all about to go a lap down, hoping and praying for a caution right about now.
Eric Kep from that giant Tiger Camry continues to lead the way.
mentioned a lot of Eric Kep over the last week or two here on Split Second Broadcasting. Very good super speedway racer in the 63. I can definitely see him at the end of this race competing for the victory today.
So he won Daytona in the Great Lakes Truck Series Season 3 opener. Let's see if he can do the same in the Great Lakes Cup Series Season 2 opener. Jacob Bransky hops out of line there.
I was just watching that. They're talking on the radio. Matt Daniels seems to be upset with Drew Cox. A lot of damage to the vehicle, and Daniels wanted him to get out of the way. Didn't move out of the way quick enough for Daniels.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Issues like that. It's Daytona, you know. Sometimes you gotta go. Sometimes you're the lion. Sometimes you're the lamb. Frederick Kermeans seems to have entered pit road. Let's cut to him, see what he is up to. And here, I believe he's coming down to fix some of that damage as he was involved in that early race collision with Ty Aiken. He had nowhere to go. He just got turned onto, as I believe that front pack, or that pack of RJ, Eric, and Merrick are slowly catching up to this 25-11 pack. If you can put those guys a lap down, you are in very good shape for the later stages of this race.
Those cars look to be the strongest cars at the beginning of this race, and every single one of them messed up coming onto pit road. A lot of drivers messed up coming onto pit road, but there's that 25-11 bunch as a group. There's a group effort on their part. And they might be heading a lap down here in a couple laps here at Daytona.
Yes.
Eric kept leading the field. Merrick Watchhorn right behind him in second. Third in the line, you got, fourth in the line, you got Jacob Bertinski, who's currently your lucky dog contender. In third place, you have Kyle Hall. And then Zachary Henry right behind him, trying to get up there and compete for the lucky dog. Brandon White as well, also competing for the lucky dog. Then you got Aaron in fourth. Then Elliot Henderson is in fifth.
Elliot Henderson obviously sustaining some damage in the early stages of this race. Once again, from that pit road mishap. But
Looks like he's doing pretty well in the draft, though, Gavin.
yeah, that's the thing with these tracks is, you know, especially compared to some of like the mile and a halfs that still require some draft. You know, with these cars especially, we saw it in the Truck Series race just this last Tuesday. If you have damage, you can hold on to the draft. Mind you, you might not be the fastest car in the draft, but you can hold on, hope for yellow, get that damage fixed, and hopefully come back out and compete. But
Still a lot of time left. Only on lap 42 of 100, not even halfway. It's going to really picked up. I'm thinking probably after the last pit stop, maybe even after this next pit stop to set everybody up for that last run to the finish.
I believe that's the 45 around.
45 sounds like on the radio might have gotten turned by the 47 of Nathan Nicholson. No caution on the speedway as he spun out under the yellow line all by himself and stay green.
Let's see if we can cut to a replay of that.
And we go, oh,
You see it here? Yeah, it just seems that, you know, I believe that is Nathan Nicholson. Just hit him the wrong way, gave him a little wobble, and just, you know, turned him around. As anyway, cutting back here, as it seems, we might have a bit of a juggle with this front pack.
yeah, the front pack changing shape a little bit with all those drivers coming together. Eric Kep is now falling to the back with RJ Williams. There's 25-11 cars trying to stay in front of our leaders, trying to keep themselves on the lead lap as long as they can.
Yeah, that was it seemed that those Eric, RJ, and Merrick jumped up high to get around those 25-11 cars, and it just didn't work. No one went with them. Everyone just stayed in line, and off to the back they go, as RJ seemed to have picked up right in front of Elliott Henderson, but Eric all the way to the back of this pack.
And
Looking
here we're
at the
going to get a
replay
replay.
here.
Looking at Kyle Hall, who's now your race leader with all that shuffling in the number 90 car. 8th in line, but he's your race leader. A little 3-wide action you can see right there. Elliott Henderson got himself another spot. This 25-11 car's getting a little aggressive at the front of that pack for a second there. A little wobbly coming into the tri-oval.
Sir, as everyone just seems to pick in his... Oh, the 47 gets under the 33 there. The 47 of Nathan Nicholson under the 33 of Josh Cully.
Josh might end up falling a lap down here as he's about to get passed by Kyle Hall. He's now going to be in your lucky dog position. And RJ Williams will pass him and retake lucky dog's spot.
Yeah, as Jacob Bransky and all them are in front of that lead pack, or in front of Kyle Hall. Pardon me, I got a little confused looking at the scoring right there. I was like, he's not in front of him, but yes, he is. So
we got 5 cars on the lead lap in that front pack. And 6th, 7th, and 8th were all by themselves for the longest time, but now they got some friends. And they're going to try to maybe drive down these front guys. They're way back there, but they got a lot of time. They need to line up, get their stuff together, and try to drive them down, but that's not what they're doing right now.
Yes, sir, as he's gotten in line. Ashton Lawson there getting out of the way for that lead pack, or not lead packs, sorry, but the pack of cars. As there's the 22 of Drew Cox, who has gotten back on the racetrack, 2 laps down, currently running in the 25th spot, obviously led a good chunk of this race.
Here they come up on Daniel Nanny. They're about to pass in probably on the back stretch here. Maybe add another car to this draft. They really need to line up though, Gavin. They need to line up right now. You need to start driving down these front guys, because it's been a pretty clean race.
That's the big issue is, like, come on, like, you gotta get in line, you gotta push.
Because right now I'm looking at it, they're around a half of the racetrack behind in the front pack, so they need to get to work and fast.
Yeah, like I said, we're approaching the halfway point, and I said around, like, you know, lap 50, the halfway point, that's when you kind of want to start to get orchestrated. You want to get ready. You can't wait too long. It's like everyone says, oh, wait till the last lap. It's Daytona. Anything can happen. Well, that's not necessarily true. You still got to put yourself in a good spot to have everything go right on the last lap.
Well, we have a change for the lead. Almost. Catastrophe heading into the tri-oval between Kyle Hall and Aaron in the 97. And the Pennzoil Chevrolet is now your race leader. Elliott Henderson moves into 3rd with that damaged vehicle. Made a power move after a big checkup. Oh, and a block sent by the 97 on the 90, it looked like there.
Just peeking his nose, making sure. Yeah, as everyone seems to have single file right out. I'm still a little shocked that these moves for the lead are even happening. Like I said, we're not even at the halfway point yet. Next time around will be for these lead lap cars, but forgot to mention, here come another round of green flag pit stops.
Are you hearing anything down there, Alex, for pit stops?
Not much so far, just what we're hearing right over the radio right now. The driver's coming down this next time by.
There's a
we had
couple guys that Matt Daniels looked real fast coming into pit road there. Not sure if he was speeding or not. Very close on the number 5.
There's a good chunk of guys come in there. There's a lot of guys missed their pit box. The 9 and the 6 both missing their boxes there.
Eric Kepf and Merrick Watchhorn coming into the pits with RJ Williams. All good on entry, it looks like. Let's see if they can get into their boxes all right. A lot of struggles coming into the boxes as well, as you were saying, Gavin.
You got to minimize your mistakes on pit road, especially as we just took the... Oh, as Daniel Nanny spins out, exiting pit road. He cannot catch a break.
It's been a long day for Nanny. He's going to try to get that car turned around. Or, nope, never mind. Car disappeared.
He gone. He gone.
Trying to figure out who our current race leader is. It looks like Aaron's still in the race lead in the 97.
Aaron Duclos continues to lead the way. Kyle Hall just overtook Elliott Henderson for P2 there.
I'd also like to point out in the lucky dog position right now in that number 91 Jeff Gordon styled vehicle is Austin Moore in the 15th position. But here comes Josh Culley on the outside. He currently has the lucky dog spot. Got a little bit of a battle going on there. No one's going to come into pit road this time by from that front pack.
Just getting in line early, so
surprisingly no chatter on the radio right now. Wondering if drivers and teams are trying to keep their strategy down. I want others to know your strategy.
yeah, that's the thing is everyone that needs to like talk to each other, they're all in Discords together. They all already talk to each other, so you know. There's no need to scream over the radio what you're gonna do. You know, everyone, right now, at least in that front pack, it seems that everyone's spread out enough that if someone hits the apron, they're not gonna, there's not gonna be an incident. But that's the thing is, sometimes still you gotta wave yourself off. But I know with Daytona, what some guys like to do is they'll keep their foot to the floor and just turn left onto the apron. And that's how they slow down. And then once they're on the apron out of harm's way, then they start to apply the brake. But some guys do, some guys don't. Everyone's different. You gotta always be prepared.
You always got those crazy guys that like to try to jump from the high side too. But always just be aware of your surroundings.
So you gotta be attentive, be aware, know what's gonna happen. Say, if there's one thing I've ever learned at Daytona, it is always expect the unexpected, and never, ever give up. Just speaking from personal experience there. Last truck series season is, last truck season at Daytona, I was a lap down, coming with like 2 to go. We had a green-white checker, and I ended up finishing 4th. So never give up here. Anything's possible. As we seem to have I believe this is going to be a good chunk of cars pitting this time here off the 4. Here they all come.
Ooh, that was close for the 97. Almost ran over Brandon White. He's trying to slow down there. Look like everybody got it under 55, at least with our leaders. Brandon White out of gas, actually, I'm hearing on the radio.
Yeah, as everyone's really trying to stretch these fuel windows.
It looks like the 3 lap cars. Looks like the 3 lap cars are going to all come out together. And Brandon Berkowski is currently your race leader in the number 25. Right behind him, you got Scott Stewart in the 26. Haven't mentioned him too much today. Peter Acumano, who's been up in the top 5 most of the day, and then number 43, Pete Camaro, and then Nick Martin in the 42. Rounding out your top 4 guys right there. Merrick Watchhorn and Eric Kepf get past Elliot Henderson and company, and those are currently the top 2 guys out of the guys that have already came to make their pit stops. RJ Williams riding with them.
The RJ and Merrick teammates.
All looking to work with Elliot Henderson.
As we
Aaron
hear
too
the
close, way back.
Here in the 25 of Brandon Barkuski going to come in this time. I believe the 26 will follow him in. I believe everyone that is not pit so far will pit this lap, barring any last minute changes. But here they come, hitting pit road.
Nope, he doesn't.
He
doesn't
faked
come.
them.
He
faked
faked
them out. Wow.
Will he actually come this time? As he comes on the radio saying he's coming this time. The Pete Chevrolet all by himself on pit road.
You know, if I'm Brandon, that is something that I do not want to do, is make other people angry.
Yeah, I would personally, if that were me, I would not be happy about that. 'Cause he's gonna come up onto the track all by himself. Might not be able to catch the draft up anybody.
Here's the thing is, I believe that Peter Acumano will stay on the lead lap. So that could
Comes
backfire
our
on
top 3.
Brandon.
Our top 3 is on pit road. A little fast for Stewart, but I think he got it under the speed. 42 of Nick Martin, a little farther back of those 2. And Scott Stewart barely gets into his box.
Brandon Barkuski misses his box by a couple feet, not too much to worry about. But this means that Spectrum line up front has once again retained the lead. Merrick Watchhorn and Eric Kepf, 1-2, with a 4-second gap.
Currently, RJ Williams sitting in the lucky dog spot right there behind our race leader. Jacob Hayes not far behind him.
If I'm those 3, I'm extremely happy with what's happening right now. Just gotta ride it out, wait for the next pit cycle. If I'm RJ, I'm hoping for a yellow. If I'm Merrick and Eric, I'm begging that there's not a yellow, but...
Just keep in mind, too, that back there, Elliot Henderson has that damage. He can't really push anybody. He kind of just relying on the draft, so it's really only Kyle Hall and Nathan Nicholson working together back there. Aaron Duclos and Josh Cully not too far behind them, though. I wouldn't say this is quite out of reach yet for these guys. A lot of strategy here today at Daytona. Quite insane. We have around almost a 30-second gap between first and sixth. A lot of strategy calls, pit calls, a lot of teamwork out there for sure today in Daytona.
Boys, I've been sitting here on pit road waiting for a caution to happen, and we haven't had a caution. Did you guys see any of this coming at all?
It's Daytona. It's crazy racing. I'm real surprised that it's been as calm as it's been. Especially just 2 days ago, Great Lakes Truck Series action in the preliminary race was just complete chaos in that practice race. And today it's been the complete opposite. We're very cool, calm, relaxed. Very mellow out there, Alex.
Well, let's hope we can get a. I shouldn't be saying this, but I kind of hope we get a caution so I can talk to some drivers. I don't want to interrupt any of them while they're racing.
Yes. You know, because you know sometimes you just kind of want a yellow to make things interesting, especially right now with how spread out everyone is. But you know, let's see if Merrick Watchhorn, however, can make it 2 for 2 in his Great Lakes racing career. Obviously won his debut race at Atlanta in the trucks, beating Daniel Nanny. And let's see if he can do it again today by dueling Eric Kep.
These front guys seem to have put even a bigger gap on third place as Elliot Henderson has fallen back to Aaron Duclos and Josh Scully, trying to get all 5 of these guys maybe together to try to get something working. But right now they're losing a lot of time. Kyle Hall and Nathan Nicholson all by themselves up there. Losing maybe around a couple of tenths, half a second a lap almost.
Yeah, those cars up front are lined right up and working amazingly together. There's not a lot of bobbing, not a lot of weaving, good amount of shoving. Nothing really sketchy either. That's another issue with, you know, Daytonas. You got to be careful when you get to some people's bumper. You hit them at the wrong time, as we saw earlier with Nathan Nicholson and Daniel Nanny. Sometimes just hits them with the wrong angle and around they go.
So I'm going to try to get some speeds at the line this time to see how much of a difference it is from the front pack to the back pack. I'm going to look at someone like the number 43 of Peter Akimano. He's running in that front pack at a 45.373 right now. But then you got Elliot Henderson back there and leading kind of that second group of the second pack at a 46.7. That's a full second plus slower than the front pack. Losing a lot of time here, Gavin. They really need to get their ass in gear.
They just need to get organized. Like that's what I've been noticed is those cars up front. Not only is their line longer, but they're a lot more organized. You know, obviously the more amount of cars help, but part of me wonders if that front pack is big enough to where having a big group of them is a hindrance. You know, you got to find that good balance. Sometimes if you have a couple people like jumping up and down and side drafting, it sucks them back. But here, that's just not happening. Everyone from really, I believe, from Merrick Watchhorn leading this pack back to, I believe that will be Christopher Heller is in line, organized, not jumping up and down, not racing like idiots, just riding it out. That's what you got to do.
Listen, keep in mind, there's literally only two lead lap cars in this pack. This is all lap cars right now.
These are all the lap cars. At this rate, it seems that they're roughly pulling about a second a lap on that P3 pack back there. So, you know, they've got to get it together, get in gear. Or else this race might as well be over unless we get a yellow. But at this rate, I do not think that we will have a yellow through this race. Everyone's in line and organized, and it would not surprise me in the slightest here if this Great Lakes Cup Series race, brought to you by Butt Kicker, goes the whole length.
It's looking like to me the Captain Watchhorn are really going to set themselves up great, possibly for that last stop. Alex, when do you think they're going to come in for that last stop early enough where they can make it to the finish?
Well, the latest earliest you can pit to try and make it to the finish would have to be, I believe, around lap 72 or 73. So we still have 10 laps to go for these two drivers to try and make it to that pit window.
I definitely expect some of these guys to stay out longer, especially since a lot of these guys stayed out 29 laps on that first window and then stayed out 28, 29 laps again. Maybe trying to just set themselves up in case if there is a green white checker. And also, could we see maybe just people come in and just top off, Alex? Just maybe get a half a tank instead of a full tank for some of these guys that have stayed out so long?
No, I do not believe that is possible. With how the pit window is right now, you're looking at making sure you have that full tank, because if it goes green, white, checkered and you don't have a full tank, you're gone. And even making it to the finish, you at least have to be able to make it 26, 27 laps.
Still a lot of racing left, as these guys in the front pack are still chilling out, waiting for that last caution to come upon us. And I know Elliot Henderson and those guys back there in the second group of cars are really just hoping and praying for a caution. But it's been such a clean race. I don't know if we're going to get it.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you. I don't know. It just seems everyone's so nice and organized. There's not a lot of bobbing and weaving. Really, like, just looking at it, really the only two guys that would be jumping in and out of line right now, gaining position, seems to be Eric and Merrick. Haha, that rhymed. And, you know, obviously they're not. Why would they? It's so early in the race. Just stay in line. You know, Kyle Hall and Elliott and Aaron Duclos also staying in line.
They're around 14 seconds back of these front guys right now. Losing a lot of time every lap because just these guys in the front are working so well together. But as I say that, the four guys in the back of this front group of guys is doing a little bit of battling out. I guess might as well. Got a lot of distance between you and the guys behind you.
Yeah, see, they're gonna fall all the way back though. All this side drafting and everything off each other. Bad move there by this group of four, because now they have lost that main pack.
You saying that, I'm realizing that Christopher Heller and Zachary Henry are going to really lose their opportunity possibly at a lucky dog spot.
Yeah, I am in awe as to why they would do that. That is not a smart move at all in the slightest, but, you know, what are you going to do?
There's only 9 cars on the lead lap right now. In 10th position, you have RJ Williams, who's in the lucky dog spot. Jacob Hayes not too far behind him in 11th. Then 12th, Peter Akimano. Scott Stewart in 13th. That's your lucky dog battle right now. RJ's been sitting in that spot right between Merrick and Eric for around the last 20 laps, just waiting for that caution to come out so he can get his lap back in the number 21 Ford Mustang. Merrick Watchhorn, a lot of clean air to that front nose. Definitely using up a little more gas than his teammate Eric Kep behind him.
Yeah, that's what I've got to wonder is that group has been putting together all night. That's why they've been working so well, but, you know, I'm surprised that they haven't really swapped out or anything. Usually there'd be a call that would, in this case, if I were them, I would have RJ come to the front as, you know, he'd get his lap back, and Jacob Hayes would get his on the lucky dog, but that just doesn't seem to be the plan. It's not in the cards. What are you going to do?
Still one more spot. Definitely some changes that can still happen out there.
Approaching.
As these guys are approaching more lap cars, Nick Martin, Brandon Berkowski might go a lap down here the next couple of laps. 8th and 9th. As we hear on the radio, the number 31 of Josh Cottle might come into pit road this time by.
Yeah, here we come. Everyone's going to start to come down this time. Like, this is crunch time. You cannot make a mistake on pit road here if you want any hope of your race.
Josh Cottle can't make any mistakes here. One of the few guys on the lead lap came into pit road in 6th place in that windshield deep Ford. Looked like he just made a take in left side tires and flown off.
Maybe that was another one of those things about iRacing not putting fuel in the cars, we heard earlier from Phil Bedford. Could that have happened again, possibly?
Very interesting. Might have to find that out here in a few laps, possibly.
As
Might hear some radio chat.
comes the lead pack onto pit road. Lead pack onto pit road. Eric Kep, Merrick Watchorn, RJ Williams. And I believe the 9 car of Jacob Hayes, followed by someone, Spencer Dickinson, pulling it up the back.
Look like everybody made it onto pit road under the speed limit out of those front guys. Let's see if Eric Kep and Merrick Watchorn can make it into their box safely. Look like Eric slowed down maybe a little bit early, playing it a little safe.
Is everyone beginning to launch?
Your current race leader is now the number 90 of Kyle Hall. Right behind him is Elliot Henderson in the 37. And that would have the lucky dog spot of Josh Scully. If the caution would come out right now, he would be your lucky dog, and we would have 14 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be an interesting end here.
Hate to interrupt you, boys, but before how I mentioned that lap 78 would be where these drivers would have to make it to, Watchhorn and Kep, they did not make it to lap 78. They pit at lap 76, which should be 2 laps short of the maximum pit.
Yeah, I don't know, Alex. I've got faith in those two. I think they'll be sitting perfect right where they are, but as I say that, we seem to have a bit of a jumble in the pack behind them between Austin Moore and Matt Daniels.
The minimum pit window is actually 22 laps to the green. These guys can make it possibly up to 28 to 29 laps, depending on how they drive on the track.
It has got to be close. You know, I think this is one of those. I think this is going to be one of those deals where Merrick right now is actually really in the cat seat. He does not want to be out front. He does not want to lead this pack. He wants to, like, he wants to be the pusher, not be the pushy. But the thing is really, if he jumps out of line right now and RJ or Eric or someone doesn't let him in, he's going all the way to the back. And you might as well have just handed the race to Eric Kep on a silver platter at that point. So his hands are tied. He's got to stay where he is, but he might run out of gas.
It's going to be a big battle, that's all I know. These two are teammates, but when it comes down to that last lap, they might not be teammates anymore.
Yes, sir. All bets are off on the final lap. We saw it in the real Daytona 500 this year with Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano wrecking each other. Anything can happen. It's Daytona. You never know.
And we have our third place driver on pit road. Aaron Duclos on pit road, the number 97 Pennzoil Chevrolet. Looked like he made it under the speed limit okay. See if he get into his box all right. Good entry to his box. And I think he will be okay.
Perfect stop there from the 97.
The number 90 of Kyle Hall and Elliot Henderson still on track. No chatter on the radio. Not sure if they're going to come in this time by. 22 laps to go here in Daytona. Coming to 21 to go this time, and they do not. They will skip pit road once again.
They're hoping for a caution, Kyle. I think they know that's their only hope. Is if they stay out and a yellow comes out. That's the only hope they have for this race. If not, it's going to go to one of those Spectrum Racing cars.
Eric Kep all over Merrick Watchhorn right now in 3 and 4, really pushing him hard. On the front stretch now, coming into the trial, Eric Kep is all over his teammate's bumper right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get away.
We'll see if maybe these leaders finally decide to make that jump to pit road this time. And Kyle Hall and Elliot Henderson once again will skip past pit road as we come to 20 laps to go here in Daytona. Josh Scully is still in your lucky dog position in the 13th position. Right in front of these guys is Nathan Nicholson, who would stay on the lead lap if the caution would come out right now.
Yeah, coming here to 20 to go. as the 90 of Kyle Hall coming in this time. Let's see if he gets followed by those Toyotas in the 33. Will they follow him? I believe they will. I believe that was Josh Cully coming on saying he is. Here they come, down pit road, as Nathan Nicholson decides to not pit, but everyone else will.
Kyle Hall was fast on pit road, it looked like. It looked like he might have been almost 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. Pretty sure that's going to be a penalty for the 90 car, as Elliot Henderson's flying through all the pit boxes, and Kyle Hall overshoots his pit box. This is travesty on pit road for these two.
Oh, what a disaster.
Gas and go for Elliot Henderson in the number 37. Very quick pit stop. And Merrick is back in the lead with his teammate Eric right behind him. And RJ Williams currently is in your lucky dog position.
You know, the time to go really is closing. Like, if anything's gonna happen, it's gotta happen now. It's gotta happen soon in order for this race to have like any semblance of those classic Daytona green white checkered finishes. Like I've been saying really since the halfway point of this race, I see no reason for it to happen, but
I'm pretty sure I see some debris on the backstretch.
yeah.
Not positive. But I think I see some metal on the backstretch that can cut someone's tire.
Yeah, there's a water bottle.
Looks like there's a Twinkie wrapper in turn 2. American Eric just working together, just waiting for this race to run out. And I'm expecting a big move from Eric Kepf in those last couple of laps.
Yeah, well, he's not gonna do it now. It's like I said earlier, with fuel being up in the air as much as it is, you do not want to be leading right now. You want to be hanging out in the draft, you know, preferably right where Eric is in line. You know, right in that spot to make. Oh, there's a wreck behind them. Wreck coming out of the road. Elliot Henderson over on his roof. Caution will wave. Elliot Henderson comes tumbling across the finish line.
Oh my gosh! And this reminds me of Austin Dillon wrecking at Daytona right there. Elliot Henderson sliding across his hood, across his roof, across the line. Very violent crash from the 37.
As wow, that him sliding across the grass there reminded me of Clint Boyer at Daytona. I think I personally owe Merrick and Eric both an apology because I absolutely just jinxed the hell out of them. Yeah, guys, we're gonna go green and then a caution comes out on the next lap.
And here we are. We're gonna
do a replay here.
Yeah, mid-action. It looks like right there.
It to me looks like someone, I believe, locked up their brakes there. As maybe we could grab a better angle. As I believe someone checked up and that is.
It looked like to me that the 26 of Scott Stewart Jr. was really slow right there. Looked like he slowed down for the 43 and just got rear-ended by the number 97, who was having a great day. Very disappointing for him.
Disappointing for those cars.
But now this gets really interesting. A lot of these guys are probably going to
come down and get tires, sorry. Come get gas. I think the fact that those, Spectrum cars are pitting shows that they need gas. Just getting another view of that that was a hard hit for Elliot Henderson.
A very violent crash for Elliot. I'd like to see if he's okay after that one.
Yes, sir, as pit stops will cycle out here. Merrick and Eric both filling up on gas, getting ready here.
I'd like to point out that Brandon Berkowski and Nick Martin struck gold right there because I think they had stayed out because I remember them being a lap down and they were in 3rd and 4th when that caution came out.
Yeah, that is perfect for those two.
A lot of guys gonna get a wave around this time as well on this pit stop with all the leaders coming in. A lot of cars gonna get their laps back.
There's a lot of issues and a lot of different strategies will now end up playing out.
Let's rack it up. We're gonna get around maybe a little over 10 laps shootout here at Daytona. This is where stuff gets wild. This is where it gets exciting. This is when you share the link to this broadcast.
Yeah, share the link to this broadcast. So obviously after that race, Elliot Henderson has climbed out of his car. Let's see if we can get a word with him here.
Still surprised it went that far without a caution. But I was expecting we were going to get a caution. It's going to be a very small accident, not a violent crash like we got right there. As we now have Elliot Henderson here with us. Elliot, what happened there on the accident?
Just nowhere to go, and one guy trying to pit, and I guess none of us knew it was happening, or I don't know. He said he was pitting. Pete got to the apron, and I guess he got worried with Pete. Typically, if you're the second or third car in line, you just go lower than what the car in front of you is, and he stayed on the track and then hit the brakes. So I don't understand what he thought he was trying to do there, but that's not how you enter pit road at Daytona. You go to the apron. There's plenty of apron down there. You just got to find a place to put your car. There's two of you pitting. There's 40 lanes down there. You could pick any one of them.
Very violent crash from you, Elliot. Very excited to see you back here next week. What happened on the pace lap? It looked like there might have been something that happened on the pace lap early in the race to your car. What happened there?
It looked like a few guys just started inching up, and then by the time they were done inching up, everybody was stopped. So, I mean, I was fine. I had avoided it, but I don't know. From the beginning of this race, it was one of the least fun races I've had in a while, but that's not due to the guys that put on the great racing here. It's just a product of, I guess, what was going on. It looked like, now that I'm looking back, that like we started going, and then a couple guys didn't go, and then someone pulled off at the end of pit road. But, you know, you can't just move forward and then brake, because it makes everybody think that you're moving. You have to go when you can go. So, like, you know, you can't see directly in front of you in these cars. So if you start to move, you just assume that the whole line's going to move. And Chris started moving, slammed the brakes. I started moving, slammed, and that was it.
Well, great talking to you, Elliot. We're excited to see you back here next week. As we're getting the green flag, Eric Kep from the 63 leads him down. 13 laps to go. And Merrick Watchhorn's going to take the lead on the outside. It looks like with help from Christopher Heller in the number 11. Watchhorn jumps down in front of his teammate.
As it seems to get sorted out decently quickly here. Now I'm really curious as to what everyone's strategies will be here. You know, if I'm Eric, I'm jumping to that high line the second I see it get a run. And is Brandon and Nick Martin. Brandon and Nick Martin are trying to get up there with their teammate Christopher Heller, but I think they forgot the fact that behind Heller is a bunch of Spectrum Racing and Windshield Deep cars, and that's not going to work. As Merrick and Eric once again working very well together, pulling a decent gap. Eric looking for the move waiting for Brandon Borowski.
All four 25-11 cars are now gotten together, second through sixth on the inside. Third through sixth on the inside. Christopher Heller jumps down low behind Martin. In front of the number 47 of Nathan Nicholson. Eric Kep is still all over his teammate's bumper there at the front as we have 12 laps to go here in Daytona.
Yes, here comes Brandon with a big shove. He's going to get Eric a little swirly there off turn 2. I forgot what turn that was. But he's right on Eric's bumper right now. Eric's going to give a good shot to the back of that 54 Camaro.
Josh Cottle currently leading that high side right now with the number 9 right behind him for Jacob Hayes. See if maybe that high line can get their stuff in order and maybe compete for this victory here.
Yeah, that wreck got a lot of those guys back on the lead lap too, so let's see what they got in them.
definitely watching these 25-11 cars. We were talking about how quick they were earlier, and they all messed up on that first stop. And they've been trying to catch up ever since. Well, that caution has caught them up, and now they're here in third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And they're putting pressure on that 54 and 63. Oh, a little madness coming into turn 3.
Oh.
63 got a little loose.
Oh, what's going to happen here? Brandon seems to have gotten off that corner a little bit squirrely. Coming to 10 to go here in the Daytona 250.
Merrick Watchhorn has led about the whole second half of this race. Eric Kep's been second, almost second half of this race. And they finally got some people behind him. As Nathan Nicholson comes on the radio, the number 43 of Peter Akimano is back in this race. And he is excited to get back up there in that Pete number 43.
You hear that? Ding, 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 ding. It's the outside line forming. Never mind.
RJ Williams. RJ Williams trying to keep up with that front pack as those guys in the back half of this front pack are battling. They're beginning to become a big gap between them.
Yeah,
RJ Williams is trying to keep them together.
They just gotta learn, man. You can't do that. You gotta get in line. You gotta go. And if I'm RJ, I am mad because he's stuck really out in no man's land. He's not getting the draft from behind. He might be pulling on that lead pack's draft a little, but still, you don't want to be put in that spot.
RJ's been fighting all day long to get back on the big lap, and now he's fighting to catch up to the pack with 9 laps to go here in Daytona. He's in 8th place. It looks like he might have the number 91 Austin Moore's draft as Austin Moore drops back a little bit from Pete.
Yeah, part of me wonders if that 91's dragging his brake, trying to get RJ onto his bumper. You know, if I'm Austin, if I'm RJ, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to help the 91, but we'll see as that second pack still cannot get it together. They're still too wide.
8 laps to go, and it looks like we might have an 8-car battle for this win as Merrick Watchhorn still leads the field. Eric Kep, his teammate, is still right behind him, but then you have the 25-11 crew right behind them. Eric Kep is pushing him hard down the backstretch. The number 25 Brandon's right behind him. All 3 of them getting into a little train there for a second.
I thought Brandon was about to turn Eric. That was close. As RJ's caught onto the tail end of this pack, he's trying to claw to get up there to help his teammates. Or teammate, I should say. Merrick's the only Spectrum racing car up there.
It looks like to me that Brandon might be getting a little bit aggressive with that front bumper to Eric Kep, trying to force Kep to make a move to the high side on his teammate. And Kep, oh, that was close.
Never mind. I thought he was about to turn him. He did not. Eric
Great
is
save
doing a
from 63.
hell of a job holding on.
Like I said, Brandon's getting very aggressive with that front bumper, and he keeps on doing that. I don't think Eric Kep's going to save it every single time. Here he goes again.
He goes again off the corner. If I'm Eric, I am not happy with this 25, but he is holding tough. He is hanging tough like a champ out there.
Yeah, he's holding up Brandon for his teammate and himself right now. Merrick and Eric out here in front of the field, and the 25-11 Brigade right behind him, wondering when they're going to make their move, because I know they're in their server, they're talking, they're discussing when they're going to make this move, when are they going to jump to the high side as we have 6 laps to go coming down the backstretch.
Don't forget another thing too that we have forgot to mention all race is behind those cars, behind the 25-11 cars, you got Pete and you got Austin. Those are split second entries from my understanding affiliated with 25-11. So if I'm Eric and Merrick, I am not happy. I am a little scared actually of what's going to happen here. Coming to 5 to go.
5 laps to go here in Daytona. RJ Williams in the back of this pack keeps on jumping up high, hoping that people jump up in front of him so they can get this high lane going, but no one's ready to jump. Everyone's going to chill down low for now.
That second lane, sorry, not second lane, pardon me, that second group is not working, and I believe RJ is getting side drafted by, I believe that's Austin Moore. That's going to suck them all back, and back to square one for those guys, as RJ's not even in the picture of the lead lap pack anymore.
RJ
back
just
they
can't
go.
catch a break today.
But at this rate, it would not surprise me if we got another yellow here. Come to 4 to go. It's
RJ's
crunch
not happy
time.
with Austin Moore. It looked like he hit him in the door, and they hit each other. And Austin hits him back. It looked like they're hitting each other in the tri-oval.
They're dooring each other in the trial.
RJ is not happy.
Here comes that second pack.
This is going to get crazy. These guys might wreck the pack here. 31 to the 9 make it pass cleanly. The 5 of Matt Daniels is peeking his nose below the yellow. I'm not sure if he can pass below the yellow here.
That second pack is 3 wide. I don't know who that is jumping down to the apron with that.
There they go!
And spinning off.
There goes Brandon White into the infield, but we're going to stay green as he's out of the way. Leaders are coming to 3 laps to go right now. Merrick Watchhorn is still in the lead. Eric Kep's still right behind him. And Brandon's still pushing hard in that 25. When does 25-11 make their move? There's 3 laps. You don't have much time.
That's approaching the lap car. Phil Bedford.
25-11 racing there.
Yes, sir. Here comes Brandon to the outside. He's gonna hook on. What are they gonna do? Oh, they gotta pinch him. Come on, pinch him up, guys. Brandon's gonna clear Eric, and here comes that old 25-11 crew, including Pete, who's, not really with anyone. Eric got shuffled out big time.
And Brandon's all over Merrick. He almost turns him off a 4. Brandon is pushing hard with his teammates right behind him.
A 25-11 pack not sorted out anymore.
The 42 came down. But left
Two to go!
teammates back.
As there comes Eric under the 42, and he turns
There he
in!
goes.
Oh, does he hold on to it? No, he will not. Green-white checker number 1.
Oh my gosh. Eric Heff and Nick Martin get into it. Craziness here in Daytona in the late laps. Not too much damage, it looks like, from either car. They should be able to continue and still compete.
Watching the replay there, Nick Martin just not clear.
It just looked like he just kind of cut across the nose of the 63 right there. Kind of feel bad for Eric. He's been second most of the day, really fast. The race still not over. The way this race has been, definitely going to be very difficult for either one of these guys to get a top 5 or even compete for the win here today in Daytona. The Daytona 250, powered by Butt Kicker.
Just looking at it right now, that 63 Giant Tiger Camry actually does not seem to have like awful amount of damage. It looks salvageable. So just watching the replay, see, really it's only going to be that little bit of front end damage, and I think my bad, he hits the wall, but still, these next gen cars, those composite bodies, extremely durable. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, with the next gen cars, the composite bodies kind of make it a little bit more similar to the Xfinity cars. So the Xfinity cars having those composite bodies, current cut bodies, they don't withstand anything. One hit from the wall and your day is done. But these cars, a hit like that, it's a good chance you can recover from that.
Yes. We seem to have, let's see, who's going to pit, who's going to stay. As Brandon Barkuski seems to be saving fuel, that clutch is in on that car. Just exiting off of pit road. Let's see if we can get a quick word in here with Nick Martin as he exits pit road with his damaged number 42 Toyota Camry. Hey Nick, it's us up in the booth. How's it going?
How about you?
Hey, not too bad. Just walk us through what happened there on with your perspective.
Just trying to push my teammate up to the front, and then I bumped him a little too hard, and then the guy behind me bumped me a little too hard, and kind of my day done.
Yeah, that Daytona accordion effect, it looked to get real interesting right there. Yeah, just hectic Daytona. What are you going to do?
I'm going to see if I can get my car fully repaired, get back out there, and finish the race.
That's all you can do. All right, thanks,
yes,
Nick.
sir. Yep, thank you.
taking a look at Nick Martin's car, it looked like he was already kind of counting himself out. But if you remember, Elliot Henderson had about the same damage earlier, and he was still very competitive as long as he was in the draft. So I wouldn't count out Nick Martin quite yet, especially if we get another accident here.
Yes, sir. You never know. It's Daytona, as you guys saw in that Great Lakes Truck Series Daytona, preseason Thunder race. Aiden DuPont never raced with us before, came out of nowhere and won that race from the back with a kind of damaged truck. Same thing could happen here. Just getting another view of this replay, that's just so hard to look at from that view. Just
Nick
a
Martin
bad.
tried to gather it up and just re-spun himself out there, just tried to hit the gas and try to keep on trucking, but wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, that's just how it's gonna go. Lights out on the pace car here, as everyone's gonna get sorted out.
Barkerski, you guys questioning that he's saving the fuel here, but he pit around lap 86, which should give him plenty of fuel in the tank. I believe what he's doing is trying to put the rear end down on the car with the amount of fuel that weighs it down.
Thanks for the update, Alex. I forgot that he came in on the prior caution. As they're coming down the backstretch. 1 lap to go. We have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered here today. Merrick Watchorn, who's led the most laps here today, and the number 54 is going to lead him to the green. You got Brandon on his outside, and the number 25, who is the first out of these 25-11 cars right here. Christopher Heller is in third. Fourth, you have Nathan Nicholson in the number 47. And then in fifth, in the Pete Camaro, it's Peter Akimano. He looks very hungry, by the way. He looks very hungry to get some spots here late. I would definitely keep an eye out for him.
Yes. Those 25-11 cars, it'll really be up to them to see if they get in line or not.
What I saw the other night in the preseason Thunder race, Matt Daniels is a very aggressive driver, so I wouldn't knock him out either. And Kyle Hall right back there in ninth. It's been very strong all day. You were talking about him earlier. He's very good at this speedway. It's the pace car pulls off onto pit road, and Watchorn gets a huge jump on that restart.
That's not what you want to do here, Merrick. You don't want to get off to that big of a launch. Now you're going to have Brandon with that huge suck behind him.
Look at R.J. Williams in fourth. R.J. Williams might have a shot to win here late.
Brandon right on that back bumper. Chris Heller coming to him. Where are they going to go? Are they going to jump up or are they going to stay? They're going to stay. R.J. Williams closing in fourth.
And they're all getting close here. Who's going to go high? As we're coming to the white flag, will they make it back around without making a wreck?
They seem to be all right. They're going to get to the white flag. Can Merrick Watchorn go 2 for 2 in Great Lakes Racing here and win his debut in the Cup Series and the Truck Series?
And here they are coming into turn 1. Merrick Watchorn still leads the 2 25-11 cars right behind him. There's a wreck going into turn 1, but there's no caution, so we'll ignore it. Merrick Watchorn coming out of turn 2. 25 getting very aggressive. Almost turned him there. Great save from Merrick.
Oh, and they're going to blow the apron. Oh! Merrick holding on to it. He's hanging tough. Here comes RJ as they're diving back and forth. Here comes RJ Williams up to fourth. He gets chopped off. Oh, and Brandon turns him. Who's going to make it through?
Christopher Heller. And here comes Christopher Heller. He's coming to the line. Here comes Peter. Peter might have a run, but Christopher Heller, he's going to take the checkered flag and win the season opener. What a finish. The number 11 gets it done.
Wow. What a finish.
Oh my gosh. First 80 laps of this race was so clean and cut. Those last 20 laps were intense. That last lap, Matt Daniels is not happy on the radio, by the way. He is pissed.
future, we've got cars overheating, and I guarantee you we're gonna have a lot of drivers overheating.
The top 5 right there ended up being Chris Fowler in first, Peter Akimano in second, Josh Cully in third, Kyle Hall in fourth, and RJ Williams coming back for a fifth place finish. Charles Wimbley in sixth. Very impressive from him as well.
What a race! Especially at the end there, that was incredible to watch at the end there. And it's Chris Heller gonna burn it down.
Well-deserved, Chris Heller. Keeping yourself in the race. Looks to be struggling to get up the banking in that next-gen car there for a second there.
All
Sounds
right.
like we're about to talk to the number 33, Josh Gully.
Who I
Trying to get an interview with him.
As I currently cannot find. Well, until, he steps out of his car, let's talk with P2, Peter Akimano. Hey, Pete, it's us
Peter.
up in the booth. Got us?
Yep.
So congrats on that P2, man. Absolutely hectic finish. Let's just
Hello.
walk us through what went through your mind. Pete,
Is
hello?
everyone there?
As Pete seems to be having some technical difficulties, as apparently no one would like to be interviewed, so we will just move him back down there to get him to figure it out.
Great race. I'm so impressed by the finish. Great concentration from Christopher Heller to keep the car straight, keep on moving, and come across the line in first for his team, 25-11 Racing.
Let's see if we can get Pete back in here. All right, Pete, you got us again?
Alright, I can hear you now, Gavin.
Alrighty, just hectic finish at the end there, man. Just walk us through what went through your mind coming to the checkered there.
I'm usually there at the end for the super speedways, and just usually I'm on the bad luck side of things, so it's pretty crazy. I know Brain always is trying to go for the wins there, so I kind of just had to brace myself for whatever happened there, and I just kind of picked the lane and stuck with it. I mean, super pumped about that.
That's been absolutely wild finish there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, for a second there, it looked like you had a run on
Yeah.
Heller coming to the trial.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could have really done anything different. I mean, just happy with the P2 to start off the season. It was definitely a strong start, so just definitely want to take that momentum and move into the next week.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, man. Good luck next week.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, as we got our race winner, Chris Heller, standing by here. Chris Heller, it's us up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, man. What's up?
Congrats, man. That was a hectic finish there. We rode nice and easy for the good, chunk of that race. And at the end there, it just got ridiculously hectic. Walk us through what happened with you as you barely avoid that wreck between Brandon and Merrick.
What? Well, I was just trying to shove Brandon up front because I didn't think I really had a shot unless they both wrecked. And I didn't really avoid the wreck. I just drove straight through the wreck, and somehow I got loose after I made contact with those guys, but I hung on to it, and no one else had a run on me, so I just kind of cruised right across the finish.
Yeah, well, just absolute madness, man. Congrats. You were there at the right spot, right time. That's all you got to do in these plate races. You knew what to do, and you knew when to be there.
Yeah, sure.
Watching that from the in-cars just makes that 10 times more impressive. Whoa. Well,
Yeah.
alrighty, man. Congrats. Enjoy it. Good
Yep.
luck next week.
Yep, thank you.
Right. And
Sounds like
Right.
we're about to finally talk to our third place finisher, Josh Gully How was your race out there today? Great finish, by the way.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We were running top 5, and then I sped down the pit road, so I was just battling to get on the lead lap. Got a late caution and took the wave around, and miracles happen.
Before we got that caution, maybe 25, 30 laps to go, what was going through your mind? Did you think we were ever going to get a caution the way this race was going?
I was kind of wondering if cautions were turned off, like glitch or something, but yeah, I was happy to see it when it happened. I'm glad I wasn't in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just madness at the end like usual.
Yeah, there was a lot of the back straight on the last lap was pretty crazy, and I just wanted to stay low and in line and try not to get hooked. And yeah, it was pretty chaotic there, but somehow we made it through it. It's a good way to start the season with the new league, and happy they let me join, and thankful for everyone that's involved.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, congratulations, man. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, guys.
Sounds like we might be able to get a conversation with the drivers that were driving 1-2 for almost half of this race today. Merrick Watchhorn and possibly Eric Kepf. Might be able to get an interview with these guys. As we have Merrick Watchhorn in the booth. Merrick, great race out there today. Very disappointing to not see you in victory lane after leading all those laps. What happened there at the end?
I got dumped. Straightforward. I got dumped. There's no ifs or buts about it. Brandon decided that I wasn't going to try to win, so he bumped me out of the corner and sent me into the wall.
You were watching here in the booth. Brandon was getting very aggressive in that last run there with you and your teammate Eric.
Yeah, no, it was intense. You know, feel bad for the Twiggy team. We had probably the best car out there, if not the fastest and the winning car. If the caution didn't come out, I think we would have definitely won the race and just pulled off a win. But at this point, I mean, if that's how Brandon's going to race, stand by.
Oh, God. I hope you listening, Brandon.
Alrighty, let's get Eric Kepf up in here. Oh, never mind. I guess you'll do it. Eric, dominated. Good chunk of this race, man. Walk us through what happened with your perspective at the end there.
Oh, hey Gavin. It was a great race for us. Me and my allies. You know, I'm running as an independent driver for the couple races that I'm running this giant Tiger Camry, and had some allies in this race, and we had a nice 25 lap pit schedule that we stuck to, and you know, me and Merrick were basically going to run 1-2 the whole most of the race there, and caution came out. I don't even know what for, but just, yeah, it was just hard racing at the end. I got shuffled out by the 25-11 guys. There were 4 of them up there, so we knew that was going to happen. But yeah, Nick Martin, you know, him and I think it was Brandon were in front of me, and Nick left a little hole there, and it's, you know, 3 laps to go, so I'm going to fill it, and I did. He came down, and that was the end of our race. So.
Yeah, sucks at the end there. Just let's hear your opinions on the end of the race. I don't know if you saw it there at the end, but just absolute hectic madness for the good chunk of that race at the end. Everyone was all over the place. Just let's hear it from you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was crazy at the end of that race. I mean, that's what you expect. I wouldn't expect anything else from from a league race like this. I mean, it's Daytona. Everybody wants to win the first race of the year, and it's going to be crazy. You know, Brandon raced me hard, and I got bumped more than I think I've ever gotten bumped in a restrictor plate race from him. But, you know, he was trying to upset me, and not upset me, but upset the car and you know, shuffle me out. And I don't blame him one bit. And finally, they couldn't do that, so they went around the high side and just went crazy at the end of the race, which is completely understandable.
Alrighty, that's what everyone expects at the end of these plate races. Well, I believe that will bring us to the end of this broadcast. Please don't forget to tune in next week as we stay here in Daytona, but we will instead be running the Daytona Road Course with the Gen 6 Cup car, like I said at the start of this broadcast.
We're
As
going to talk to Brandon himself. Brandon,
How you doing,
what happened
guys?
there in turn 3 and 4? Merrick was not happy with you here in the booth. Merrick was not happy. Just gonna
I
say
mean,
that.
I mean, I get it, but you know, it's the package is just kind of very bad right now on iRacing. Unfortunately, you can't make a move, so everybody just has to ride bumper to bumper on the plate tracks. Heller gave me a shove. We tried going high. Merrick blocked. You can clearly watch the replay. I go low. Merrick comes down again. I mean, I don't know if he wants me to lift. He actually was talking to me earlier. He wanted me to lift on the last lap of a plate track, so I guess I'll laugh that one off. Because I come here to win. I don't come here to ride behind guys. You don't win by lifting. That's not how you go faster in a race car. Just doesn't work scientifically. You got to trust that science. I mean, it stinks, but that's not how I race. But unfortunately, the package creates that. So in any scenario like this is almost inevitably always going to be the end result. So this happened to me last year at Talladega, and unfortunately I was on Merrick's end and feel the pain, but I don't know what else he expects me to try to do. We tried going clean, we tried going high, came up to block, and he has every right to do that. Again, he's a race car driver trying to win the race, and if I come low, I'm not going to lift, and unfortunately contact was made, and when that happens, inertia takes over, and one car goes one way, the other car goes the other, and boom, soon you know it, 6 cars are blown up, and Chris Heller, my teammate's the winner. So I'm just happy about that for 2511 racing. We'll move into the road course here next week, and points are probably going to start shuffling a little bit more. That's definitely a difficult track, and probably one of my weaker road courses, so definitely going to be practicing quite a bit there, but hopefully Merrick and I moving forward can race clean. Obviously on a real track, you don't race like that, the package doesn't stink. So I think moving forward, we'll get over it. We'll both go to bed tonight, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, looking forward to next week at the Daytona road course. How do you really feel about that? Are you a strong road course racer, you would say?
I feel like I'm in like that level, just where like definitely not the fastest, but of those guys in the middle, probably run about 6th, 7th, or 8th. Big thing is just keeping it on the track and being consistent. There's low downforce package in the Gen 6. That's what we're going to be racing on. So just keeping the tires not from spinning is just going to be the big deal. But put in some work this week. Nicholson, our teammate's really good at road courses. So we'll go to the drawing board with him and we'll see what we can do.
We'll take your notes, Brandon. We'll see you back here next week at the Daytona road course. Great job getting your top 10 though. Still able to come out with a 9th place finish with that last lap craziness. Great job today.
Yeah, we'll take it, and my teammate Chris won, so we're happy campers here. But thank you guys so much for doing the broadcast.
Of course. Great job, Brandon. Good luck to your race team next week at the Daytona road course. I think that will end our stream for today. We will be back Tuesday for the Great Lakes Trucks once again here in Daytona. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll be saying goodbye here for the Daytona 250 presented by Butt Kicker. We'll be back next week, same time, but taking left and right turns from Daytona. Alex, Gavin, got anything to add before we check out?
Just really looking forward to next week at the road course. Those road courses always put out a fantastic show here at these Great Lakes guys, so looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they can handle these cars around those road courses. Those things are tough.
All right, well, that will do it here from Daytona. Good night, everybody, and we will see you hopefully Tuesday. If not, we'll see you next Thursday. Good night.